it is Thursday, August 5th, 2021, the big day for the Ethereum London upgrade. I am extremely excited about this because it's not about London. Everyone is thinking about EIP 1559 and the new fee burning mechanism in the Ethereum blockchain. So welcome everybody. Our call today is, so we're the EthStaker community. I'm going to talk a little more about that, but our call is designed to be celebratory and fun. We're just kind of here to watch numbers count down, to goof off, to shoot the shit, and look forward to a successful network upgrade. So I am SuperFizz. I am a member of the EthStaker community, and before we get going, I want to introduce the other EthStakers, and we have a lot of great guests here today. I'm not going to get to introducing everyone, but I really do look forward to everyone chiming in and sharing their vast knowledge. First shout out today is to Anvetica. Anvetica is our engineer who gets everything done so well. He designs our POAPs. He makes sure this stream works, and he is invaluable. So thanks, Anvetica.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Happy EIP 1559, everyone.
Woo! Patricio Werthalter runs the POAP. Actually, he doesn't run. He created the POAP platform. That's the proof of attendance protocol, or proof of action, or proof of anything protocol. And so today, Patricio we're using the POAP platform to distribute 3 POAPs, and we'll also be doing a drawing canvas, which we're going to get into really quickly. So thanks, Patricio.
It's my pleasure to be here, and thank you everyone for being so passionate about Ethereum. Thank you.
Lamboshi is with us. Lamboshi, we like to call him internally. We call him our minister of money. Is that what we call him? I don't know, something
Finance.
Like that. Minister of Finance. So Lamboshi, or Nolan, knows so much about Ethereum, and he has such a great, even-keeled and level-headed perspective. So thank you for being here today.
I don't have any control of those funds if the CRA comes asking. Not involved with that at all.
Yeah, we've got evidence now. And Buddha is our connection at Bitfly and our resident contrarian.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you.
And Colfax is, as a member of EthStaker, he runs the Stakehouse department of EthStaker, which is our development branch. And we're really proud of everything he has done to really get that up and going, to provide tools to support the community. So thanks for coming, Colfax.
Of course. Hey, everyone. Good to see you.
And finally, Gray Wizard is our project manager. He is the guy who makes sure that we show up when we say we're going to be somewhere and helps us know what we're supposed to do. He's actually feeding me everything that I'm saying today. So thank you so much, Gray Wizard, for sharing your organizational talents.
Anytime. Good morning, everybody.
So as I mentioned, we have a lot of guests. We're not going to spend a ton of time tooting our own horns. We just want to hang out and have a good time. And so to get started with that, the most important thing, the reason that everyone's here is, well, EIP 1559 in London. The next reason is to participate with the POAP Canvas and collect POAPs. And so, Michael, I think you are the man to tell us how to get that ball rolling.
Yes. So a very exciting day. In addition to the upgrade, we've got a total of 3 POAPs that we'll be distributing today. The first, and arguably the most important, is the POAP that allows you to contribute and enter into the POAP.art canvas. If you're watching the live stream, the POAP and the code word are being displayed at the bottom right now. What you'll do is, if you're on Discord, you can join the EthStaker Discord at invite.gg/EthStaker. You will directly message the POAP bot the code word, and today's code word is London Upgrade, all one word, that's displayed on the live stream. If you are on Reddit, you can directly message the Reddit bot the same code word, which is London Upgrade. Once you claim, you can head on over to the POAP.art canvas. The link to that is on our website. If you're watching on the live stream, the direct link to that is in the video description. If you're unsure as to how to claim, you're getting error messages, something just isn't working right, head on over to that website, EthStaker.cc/London, and there are step-by-step instructions on how to do that. But if you're a POAP vet, POAP OG, you know what you're doing, check out that code word. Again, it's London Upgrade, and you'll send that either to the Discord or Reddit bots. That is one of 3 POAP today. We will announce the second one in a little while, but go ahead and claim that so you can participate in the POAP.art canvas.
All right, so the POAP art canvas will be going on through the entire call. I will be defending my little fizz space from my friend who is encroaching. But yeah, so feel free to engage with that. It's a great opportunity, and it's one of those things. The POAP canvas is probably the thing that will last the longest from this call. Like 1559, London's going to happen no matter what, but we'll always get to look back on the canvas. And so to get started today, I know a lot of people are just joining, and I really think if you got up and tuned into this show, you kind of have an idea why we're here. But just in case you're new, to give us like a really 10,000 foot overview of what's happening with the London hard fork, Nolan, can you just tell us why we got up this morning and why this call is important?
Yeah, so we've got 5 exciting Ethereum improvement proposals going into this upgrade. And the first one is EIP 1559. Some of you may have heard about that one before. Basically, that's replacing Ethereum's current first price auction system to get transaction fees included with a base fee and a tip system, and that base fee gets burnt, which some people are fairly excited about. The next one is EIP 3198, and this is sort of like a companion EIP to 1559, and it adds an opcode to the EVM that allows you to call and see what the current base fee is for submitting a transaction. Then we've got EIP 3529. And if you hold Shy Gas token or any of the gas token, I mean, F's in the chat, they're worthless now. So this basically you could create a contract when the price of gas was low and then self-destruct the contract when the price of gas was high and get transactions included more cheaply. But this ultimately just load the chain and is generally not great for the health of Ethereum. So the refunds for the self-destructing contracts are being disabled. EIP 3541 is smart contracts can't start with OXEF. Pooja, can you jump in and explain why that is?
I'm sorry, can you rename the proposal one more time? I just missed it.
The 3541 where smart contracts can't start. Yeah.
So for 3541, actually, that is the stepping stone for the bigger changes that is coming up in the later upgrade, maybe in Shanghai or whatever the name is going to be. It's about changing major features of EVM. Detailed was earlier mentioned in the proposal 3540, but now people are making some more changes that is still in a draft proposal. So for people who are actually looking for major changes for EVM, 3541 is really important for them.
Okay, and then thank you very much. The last is EIP 3554, which delays the difficulty bomb. which is, just a thing that was meant to prevent low effort forks of Ethereum.
Right, and
Awesome.
this difficulty bomb is being delayed just up till December 2021. We may be expecting one more upgrade before we jump into the next year to push it further before we get the major upgrades.
Thanks. And so, Pooja, I wanted to welcome you. I'm so glad you're on our call today. Pooja is the leader of the Ethereum Cat Herders, the ECH organization. And so they're kind of a sister organization to EthStaker in that a lot of the things we do kind of align. They tend to work or have worked primarily with Ethereum 1, and I don't want to call it Ethereum 1, and they have tended to work with Ethereum, the original chain, and EthStaker has been focused more on the beacon chain. As we move forward, we're really looking forward to collaborating more with ECH. And so their calls tend to be more academic and ours tend to be more social, but both calls have elements of both features. And so that's why we're doing the celebration. And there's actually a recorded call from about 3 days ago, maybe 4 days ago that ECH did that goes really into depth with all of these EIPs. And I really suggest you go to YouTube and check it out. But thanks again for being here with us today.
Yeah, sure.
And so to keep things rolling, I said to keep things rolling, and then I'm like, what is next? I don't even know. Sam, where are we at?
Well, I was just thinking maybe Yorick, you could hop in here and talk us through some of those comments that you were saying before folks, before we started the live stream about, follow distance and upgrading clients and things like that.
Sure, happy to. So if you're running an ETH staking setup and you have your own ETH1 or execution client like a Geth, then you'll want that updated to a version that supports London, which is 1.10.6 for Geth. If you didn't get to this by now, that's perfectly fine. You got at least 8 hours to get it done. So just get to it today. And the EthStaker Discord and Reddit can help you with the technical bits of how do I update my local copy. If you're using third party like an Infura, Fuse, Alchemy, etc., it doesn't matter. They're doing it for you.
Awesome. Yeah. And the big key here is if you're running a node, it needs to be upgraded, updated. You'll also want to check to be sure that not only did you run the upgrade, but that you're actually running the newest version of Geth, because there is that if you run Linux or system services, you know that you can install something and it's not actually running
right
until you instantiate it. So just make sure that you're running the latest version and everything will be fine. We don't really see an avenue where things can go wrong at this point from a failure to upgrade, because I think over 75% of nodes have upgraded, and unless those nodes are mining blocks, then there's just a extremely low risk of anything. So we got into the weeds just a tiny bit, and as I've mentioned, this call is not about getting into the weeds. This call is about celebrating the big block number and watching it together as a group. I think now would be a good time to switch gears and check out this canvas for a minute, and maybe just have thoughts, reflections. Let anyone who wants to comment just hop in.
Yeah, so the other day I heard some drama about a guy that has paid like 5 Ether trying to mint a cat and couldn't. Could have been different with EIP 1559?
The guy just disappeared, I think.
Yep, just rage quit. He's so over it.
He's out of here.
I had no idea. So honestly, so Marius, can you explain what that have been different? You may not even be aware. I'm sure you're not, of what happened. So essentially, I interacted with a contract to buy a very important cat, and my transaction. I replaced it. I replaced a 100 GUI transaction with a 2,000 GUI transaction just to make very sure that it would go through, because I'm a fool. And essentially I overran the gas capacity of that block. I don't guess EIP 1559 would do anything at all to change that. It still would have been an out of gas transaction. Would anything have been different?
Not really. So yeah, it might be a bit if the block isn't super full yet, then it could have been a bit better. Because 1559 allows for doubling the block size during times of high congestion. It could have been a way that you could have like minted the NFT that you wanted. But if it ran out of gas, it's not really a problem of the gas limit, of the block gas limit, but of the gas limit that you set in your transaction. Yeah. 1559 cannot help you with that. That's the problem of like the automatic tool that estimates the gas that you use to mint. And you should take those estimations and do like 10-20% more in order to be safe, especially for such important transactions.
Yes, thank you. And that was really based on a Twitter thread where there was a debate about who would be the first to stab me in the back for my awesome failure. But thank you, Patricio, for being the one.
I'm doing my work.
You're doing someone's work. Thank you. Hey, so Logic Beach, are we? If we're not, can we switch to the canvas on YouTube? Logic Beach, can you tell us what your role in this and what your thoughts are behind it?
Yeah, usually for these canvases, I like to try to get communities together to collaborate on art pieces, especially on this canvas, since the cooldown time is a little higher. I think it was 8 seconds with one POAP. So anyhow, so it takes a while, you can place one pixel at a time, but when you get 10 or 20 people together, you can actually create works of art. Namely, we pulled it off and we got this ETH of Sauron / Elizabeth Tower thing created. Elizabeth Tower is what a lot of people call Big Ben. I learned that there was some confusion online between those two things. There's a video about it. But anyhow, yeah, that's crazy. That thing got created. Also the dog, I really wanted to set out to get this tower and that dog created, and it happened right before my eyes. So yeah, I sort of act as a community organizer and try to get as many, we call them guilds, different teams together to just create their own works of art.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks for the shout out. And I did want to mention that I was listening to all the Lord of the Rings audiobooks on a long road trip, 3,600 miles. So I was like, it's going to be the ETH of Sauron. It's going to be the tower. So, and it happened. So thank you, everybody.
That is awesome. Michael, I want to flip back to you because I know that people wake up at different times. At least it's morning in the US, and some people probably didn't figure out how to get involved with either claiming a POAP or getting on the canvas. And after that, I really just kind of want to, excuse me, just open the floor and let anyone bring anything up for a moment. So
if
Michael,
I could bring anything up for a moment, I would give a huge shout out to the person that's done the most for EIP 1559 who has joined the room, and it's Tim Baker. Hello, Tim.
Welcome, Tim.
Hey, I'm not sure I'd say I did the most. I didn't actually implement the thing. So,
well,
yeah.
It's very hard to measure, but if we could have metrics of contributions for the thing to happen, I would say your coordination work must have the largest footprint.
Thanks. Well, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of coordination work to make this happen.
And I see Tim asking here in the chat, how do I?
How do we get it? Yeah,
and,
sorry,
and
I was asleep.
No, you're exactly as we expected. Welcome, we're glad you made it. And we know there are probably a lot of people who are just like, I just need the POAP. So Michael, will you hit us up again?
Yes, absolutely. So again, if you're watching on the live stream, the code word is on the bottom banner right now. What you'll do is directly message the POAP bot. the specific fully qualified POAP bot name is on the live stream link as well. You'll directly message the code word London upgrade, all one word. That will dispense the live stream POAP, which will allow you access into the POAP.art canvas.
It looks like we're 64 blocks away, about 14 minutes away. So,
why don't we explain what's the things we are monitoring? Right?
Sure, that's great. I'll be the first to acknowledge. Most of you know that I'm most interested in staking on the Beacon chain, and so I'm not anything like an authority on the London upgrade. Would someone like to lead the conversation about what we're looking for in this upgrade and the evidence of success or failure afterwards?
Well, I could give the opportunity to our Ethereum 1 core developer in the house, Marius.
Great idea, thank you.
Hey, yeah, sure. Hard fork is always a bit of a painful event for us because we have to like write the software, then everyone needs to update their software, and then at a certain block, the software will actually change the rules of the protocol. And so we've written a lot of software to monitor these things. If you don't mind, I could share my screen and show you some of the tools. That's not working. Never mind. So usually, like we have a lot of nodes running different types of software to see if these different nodes disagree with each other. And you can go to forkmon.ethdevops.io and see those different nodes, and it will automatically show if nodes run out of consensus. And if those nodes run out of consensus, I will have to drop off from the call pretty quickly to figure out what is happening there.
So you are our canary in the coal mine. As long as you're on the call, things are fine.
Yes.
Good to know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. We do have like there've been a lot of like really cool tools developed that show the amount of ether burned. So I had the idea for Watch the Burn, and a colleague of mine, Mohammed, implemented it. So if you go to watchtheburn.com, you can see once London goes live, you can see how much ether is burned. I do not expect the amount of ether burned to exceed the amount of money created yet. So I don't really believe in the ultrasound money narrative for this hard fork. But
no, I told Superfizz there's going to be a bunch of NFT drops. He's going to take care of it for us.
I'll burn it all.
Once the merge goes live, we can severely decrease the issuance of ETH, and then this ultrasound money narrative should come into play, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so we're monitoring the nodes to see if anything breaks, and if something breaks, I'll let you guys know.
And we'll say, oh no, Marius left the call.
Yeah, who else has to drop immediately if there is a fork? I'm sure Chase.
I'll drop, yes.
Who else has to drop if there is a fork?
I will as well disappear, not because I have any responsibility, but because I won't know what to do next. Joking, sorry.
So I don't expect anything to happen. We've tested the fork pretty seriously. I've been fuzzing and sending millions of transactions over the different test nets. We did find a bug on Robston a couple of weeks ago, but that was quickly figured out and fixed in like, I think 4 hours or something. And so yeah, I'm reasonably confident in the upgrade. And it's not, I don't think it will fail immediately. But as with the last upgrade with Berlin, we had one of the clients drop off the network after a couple of hours. And so we will monitor the fork at the fork point, of course, as we all do here in the call, but also sometime afterwards.
It's great that you say that, because you're right. Things, of course, you're right. Things are likely to unfold very well this morning, and what will not be unlikely is that in a few hours or a few weeks, we'll discover something tiny that is some tiny loss of consensus that will require a client update. And the important thing for people who are watching is just to remain aware of what's going on in the community, especially for the next week or two, as everything settles out, because these upgrades, while I think everyone's confident this is going to go really smooth. In fact, we're all excited, and there's no trepidation about, what if something doesn't work out. There's always some tiny little thing that will need to be corrected in time. So thanks for sharing that with us. Michael, can you give us, we're about 7 minutes away, can you give us an idea what kind of views we're going to be looking at? Because I imagine I'd want to start with the London upgrade counter, and then I'd want to switch to the node monitor, and then I'd want to switch to watch the burn. Is that a fair flow? Do you have something better in mind?
No, we can totally do that. That works just fine. Let me switch from the POAP.art canvas over to watch the burn.
Well, watch the burn won't really kick in until, oh, well, I guess it does have a countdown, but yeah, that's perfect.
Yep, so that's displaying now on the live stream.
26 blocks.
Maybe we can go back to team for a minute. And I'm curious about what was the hardest obstacles getting us here, and what were your most important lessons?
I think that's a good question. It feels like there were a lot of different obstacles along the way, but one thing I think that really helped in the development is when we realized, and I say we, I think this is Micah, I want to take credit for this, but when we realized we could keep legacy transactions under 1559. So the original spec of 1559 was way more complicated. It had 2 transaction pools. Some transaction pools was for 1559 transaction. The other one was for legacy transaction. And then the block would have like, at first, almost no block space for 1559 transactions. And like every block would get more and more space for 1559 transactions until I think it was like something like 600,000 block. You could not use legacy transactions anymore. It was like very, very complicated. And then, yeah, I think it was Micah said, well, we can just like convert legacy transactions to 1559 ones. And that just like simplified this spec. Like 1559 looks complicated today, but the client implementation of it prior to that small change was twice, if not 3 times as big. So that was huge. I think the other thing that was really, really helpful is Tim Roughgarden's paper. So I think one of the best criticism of 1559 like a year ago was like, we don't even know if like the economics work. There's only like 2-3 Vitalik ETH research blog posts, that kind of argue for this. But having Tim Roughgarden like write a 50-page analysis and dissecting kind of the economic properties of it and why, like kind of quantifying what we actually mean by a UX improvement with 1559 and why it actually works. To me, that also felt like a huge kind of weight off my shoulders, where it's like, okay, we're not just making this up. Like people who, have like an actual background in economics and whatnot think this is legit. And I think the last bit that was a bit tricky is knowing whether clients handling a large state could even support full blocks, like 30 million gas blocks. We know it's really easy to start like a new test net with like an empty state and have 30 million gas blocks. We can do much bigger than that. But the question is always like, if you have mainnet and the clients already have a massive state, what will you still be able to support it? And the Basu team built basically a large state testnet generator, which could create a testnet which had a lot of state, and then we were able to spam that and see that like Basu, Geth, and Nethermind all worked fine. Yeah, so I'd say those three things were pretty big things that we figured out along the way that helped get it done. And yeah, on that note, there's like 10 blocks left. So
10 blocks.
Yeah.
So what we'll do now, we won't recognize any speaker. We'll just hang out a minute. I like these opportunities where people can quip and just comment and enjoy.
Well, we have a little announcement from the POAP canvas. It's getting pretty full. People have drawn very nice pieces. So shortly after the vlog, we will be closing it. So we get the final still image. Those of you that are protecting your pieces, protect them for 2 more minutes, and they will be immortal and immutable in the blockchain forever.
If you enjoy the POAP canvas, you might also check out nifty.inc. It is a similar kind of drawing experience. Yeah, anyway, that was an ad, but it was fun because I liked the place.
And we're at 3 blocks remaining.
Woo!
Are we counting down?
Absolutely, 2 blocks remaining.
Time to open Forkmon.
Oh yeah, right.
1 block
Is it just me
remaining.
or is Foxmon stuck at
Yeah.
like 20 blocks before the fork?
How can we? I don't have a CLI.
Yeah,
Well, good
Fork1
thing-
has been pausing.
And this should be it. It says
Yeah.
0 blocks remaining. So let's see.
I think
Hey!
Oh, we
I
have the
will-
block.
I will just be looking at Marius. As long as he's in the call, we are good.
The block has 30 million gas, so that's good. It means that the block's limit has doubled and whatnot. It's
We
kind of
already
expected
running.
that the first couple blocks will be big because we started the base fee at 1 Gwei.
Right.
So there's going to be a ton of, well, I don't know how much it takes, but like the gas price is like 20 Gwei right now. So it's going to take probably 5-10 blocks for the base fee to go back up. And so we see like the second block now, the base fees at, or the third block, it's at 1.26 Gwei, but it goes up exponentially. So we should expect to see like, 10 to 20, 30 million gas blocks. And then once we've reached a base fee of roughly 20-ish Gwei, it should settle back down to 15 million gas.
Right.
Looks like the block was mined by Cryptex, so congratulations to them for being updated and having the gas limit set correctly. I'm not familiar with them, but
Oh, actually, they don't. Yeah, so that's the other thing we'll see. So the fork actually doubles the block size. So they don't need to update to push the block limit up, but they need to update to not push the block limit down. And so that's what I'll be looking at a bit. It seems like there's at least some miners that are pushing it down right now because the gas limit on the first one was 30 million and now we're at like 29 something. So I'll be monitoring that and trying to reach out to the miners who haven't configured things right.
Right.
awesome. So what we can see right now is, as expected, the chain transitioned at the expected block. The first block was mined on the upgraded chain. We sometimes call those hard forks, but that's a scary word for a lot of people. So at the very first observation, we can say that the network upgrade is successful. And now, as Marius mentioned, it'll be important to watch for the next few weeks to look for things that didn't go perfectly. that would be like miners who haven't updated their clients or who haven't configured correctly. But
Yeah.
things look great, and I'm noticing
We see
that
a
once the
decent
burn
amount
is
of
down,
tips as well. That's going to make miners happy, right? I see a decent amount of priority fees being paid here. And I think MetaMask said they wanted to update their client today, their wallet, to support 1559 and the new user experience. So it should be a lot simpler to send transactions and know what you're going to pay.
So just someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the large amount of tips will, a lot of it be because of the legacy transactions.
Could be, yeah.
Whatever you put in is gas
Yes.
price, base fee is taken away and the rest is given as tip. So you would actually expect early on, particularly before MetaMask is updated widely, that tips probably remain very similar. You'll just lose whatever the base fee is. And as Tim said, it starts out low. So miners are effectively getting the whole tip, the same payments they would normally, and gradually you'll see that burn kind of slope up on the graph, which we were starting to see on Watch the Burn already.
Yes, and you can see now on Fogman as well. It's updated. I think
A little bit louder.
You can see on Fogman as well. It's already updated, and all the clients seem to be in sync, except for Geth B2, which is not on the old chain, which is on purpose. So we know that no one is mining blocks on the old chain.
Got it. So you can confirm that nobody's continuing the old chain right now.
Well, it looks like it. So
Right.
Some miners will continue the old chain probably because they just didn't update their software.
Right.
Oh yeah, now there's a bad block from B2, but yeah.
Got it.
So some miners will continue the old chain, but it seems like they are in the minority. So it will take them way longer to mine blocks than the new chain.
Right. And so the majority of hash rate moved with London and the hard fork and accepted that.
So just to get in front of this real quick, to celebrate the official upgrade now, if everyone watching the live stream looks at the banner, we have the second 2 of 3 POAP distribution. This is the official network upgrade POAP. The code word is London's Burning with an S. Code word London's Burning. So congratulations to the EF team and everyone involved here for getting that implemented. This big moment.
Yeah, that's I don't care if anyone claps with me. That's just an awesome feat to bring the network forward. So congratulations to everyone. And so to clarify for everyone, we do have 3 POAPs today. The first one was the Canvas POAP, and the Canvas is now complete. And we have a call POAP, which Michael just described. And the third one is what we're looking at as not forget about this call. It is for everyone in the Ethereum community to celebrate London. It is a POAP that has a very low bar of entry to access, where it's going to be available for 3 days. It's just a community-wide London POAP. And Bad Investment helped us set up, well, actually Bad Investment built a Reddit POAP bot, and it is distributing POAPs right now. Do you have a moment just to let us know what the status of that is? I think it's probably going to get hugged to death, but can you give us an update what that looks like?
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. We've done distributions before, and I didn't encounter this, but yeah, Reddit is rate limiting its ability to send direct messages right now. So if you do claim, you will get your code reserved, but it's not going to send it back to you if everyone's messaging it at once. So all you got to do is wait a minute or two and message it again, and you will get your code.
Awesome. Thank you, Bad Investment. And thanks for developing that Reddit POAP bot. That POAP is also available through Discord with the same claim code. And that claim code is, someone remind me, please.
London's Burning.
Okay, London's Burning. And so if you message that to the Reddit bot, or if you message it to the POAP bot, you will get the code. Now relax. It's open for 3 days. Is that right?
Yes.
Or is that an exaggeration? Okay.
Nope, 3 days.
Okay, so it's going to be hard to claim now. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. It's still going to be around. We want everyone to get one. We have plenty. And this is not the kind of exclusive POAP that is reserved for people who were at one place at one moment. So please do continue to claim. Please tell your friends, get your grandma one. We just want to celebrate this upgrade with everyone who is interested.
When is the next upgrade?
Yeah, right.
We need to have an upgrade in December. The question is what that upgrade will be is still TBD, but yeah.
But what about Altair?
Oh, it's true. There's Altair. Yeah.
Yes. So Altair should roll out on Piedmont in a couple of weeks. There's been a great idea someone just had from Lodestar to optimize things, which we may try and sneak in, which might change that. But definitely stay tuned, because it will be time to update your beacon chain clients fairly soon for the Piedmont testnet. It's looking really good, and then it'll kind of be a knock-on effect to Prada testnet and then mainnet. But it's pretty much ready to go for Altair.
Do people want to have a painting party for Altair? Maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd say, judging from the success of all of these canvases, I'd say you can't go wrong.
That's good, because they are so hard to put together and so expensive in hosting costs that people are better enjoy them.
So again, I love the big picture. At this moment, it appears that London was successful. The chain is moving forward, and we're already gearing up to say, where are we headed and what's next? And if you followed EthStaker at all over the past year, you'll know that we have kind of this new and developing division or department called Stakehouse, led by our friend Colfax. And one of the things that EthStaker, our greatest goal is to improve access to staking on the beacon chain. And so Colfax, would you like to talk about Stakehouse for just a minute or two and let everyone know what Stakehouse is, and more importantly, how they can become involved in increasing access to staking?
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for the intro. So Stakehouse is, as Superfizz mentioned, an extension of the EthStaker community that's really focused on tool building around lowering the bar to the technical barriers to staking on the beacon chain, as well as generally promoting the health of the beacon chain, things like client diversity and whatnot. So if you're interested in this, whether you're technical or not, and you want to get involved or even just like hear about what we're doing, we have a channel on the EthStaker Discord. It's Stakehouse, so come on over and say hi. We also have a bi-weekly community call. So that's our next one's coming up in just under a week. It's going to be on Wednesday at, I believe it's 4 p.m. UTC. So we'll be posting about that on the EthStaker Discord as well. What our primary focus is right now for the next couple months is inspired by a tweet actually from Superfizz, which he basically issued a challenge to the Ethereum builder community to have at least one, but as many as possible, multi-client GUIs available for staking. And basically, yeah, getting as many multi-client GUIs out there so people can actually just click one button and install all of their node infrastructure and be able to operate a node without having to interact with the command line interface. So we actually have about 4 teams that are either well underway in progress or working on building tools to accomplish that goal. So come on and check out our community calls every other Wednesday, and we have an update that we post every week on GitHub. That's at the Stakehouse org and Stakehouse repo. So go ahead and check that out there as well, and you can see what we're working on. So that's just about it for me.
Awesome, thank you. If you're watching and you need a calling in life, the beacon chain needs you to improve access to staking. So please reach out to Colfax. Please get involved. Please get over whatever imposter or inferiority you have that you're not good enough or you can't do it, because your help is welcome and your help is valuable. So please hit up Colfax and let's get these let's get these UIs out there and put staking in the hands of anyone who's interested in doing it to overcome those difficulties. So I was going to peek at Watch the Burn. It looks like it has the hug, and we're getting 500s on it. But you know, I think we did it. We did do it.
If you want.
Watch the Burn is. I think the web server is currently crashed, and Mohammed is getting it up as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I think everyone went to EtherChain and it crashed as well.
I think William was saying ultrasound money. What is that? Ultrasound money?
Yeah, ultrasound.money.
Okay, ultrasound.money.
We've already burnt over 10 ETH.
It's like putting children in the oven.
What? What?
I'm not ready to burn ETH.
All right. Well, thank you for everyone. I'm gonna jump, but thanks. And
Thank you,
to everyone watching. Thank you.
And we want to thank everyone for coming out today. Thanks to all of our guests. It's always a good time to hang out with friends and enjoy a network upgrade. I remember in the early days, I would always be by myself watching numbers on the CLI, and it was so sad. It's great that I get to do this with a bunch of friends. So thanks to everyone for coming out.
Anyone that placed a pixel, there is a POAP for them as well. Warfalter wanted us to mention that. Sorry.
Yeah, there will be 2 POAP deliveries, one for everyone that has placed a pixel and one for everyone that has placed 100 or more pixels. They will be announced on our Twitter and likely on the EthStaker Twitter and everywhere else. The website for getting them is POAP.delivery. So please follow our social media channels. Also, in a couple of weeks, we are planning a new EthStaker community call. So there's plenty of stuff like this. If you like this call, stay tuned to our content because we keep putting content like this every week.
Also, anybody that helped with the tower or the dog, I'm going to get a distribution together, and just stay tuned for that. For a POAP.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone for coming out. Thank you to the developers, the people, the researchers, the implementers, everyone who had a hand in these EIPs or in researching or sharing knowledge. It's so neat to be part of such a dynamic and able-minded group who just figures these things out and puts them together and then shares them with the community. So it was really great spending time with everyone today. And so I think we're going to end the live stream. We'll see you guys on Reddit, Twitter, Discord, wherever else. And thanks for joining, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Superfizz.
Bye-bye.